नमस्कार आप सभी को। पुनः आप सभी का स्वागत है इस ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम में। मॉर्निंग में हमारा एक ऑफलाइन सेशन हुआ था जिसमें हम लोगों ने EON रियलिटी का क्या कंसेप्ट है, किस तरीके से अपना लॉगिन करते हैं, इस बारे में हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया। नाउ इन दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन वी विल डिस्कस हाउ वी क्रिएट आवर own content by using this platform. So before starting, I just like to invite Mr. Laliji for a brief introduction about EON reality. Then we will proceed further. Basically, this is for online participants, and all the online participants are requested to please see how this platform work and how we create content. If you have wish to log in and do start your preparing content, we also have 2 sessions tomorrow. Then we will continue tomorrow if you have any issue and problem in login and creating content. So in this session we will create and start creating our content. So Lalitji, please welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to stand in front of a number of people in this room. Most of you are very esteemed teachers with lots of degrees and credentials. It's an opportunity today to take you through some hands-on session as well as some demonstrations about the EON reality, and I'll give you in few minutes a little bit about the background of EON reality, and also a little bit of background about why we are here today and how we got here. So we have been working with NCERT, and including we had opportunity to showcase the technology to the Minister of Education, and then subsequently we have signed an MOU with NCERT to start the proof of concept pilot project. And part of that pilot project, the very first activity is to give you a training. And this particular training will allow you to not only learn the tool, but create the content for the proof of concept. So simply put, today and tomorrow, we will enable you, train you with this tool, and then you, along with your NCERT team here, I can see at least 25 to 30 people sitting in here, working together, you will create the various learning content, lessons, etc., so that you get full experience as well as create some impactful content. So that's a broader background. And I'll talk a little bit about the EON, since many of you may not have heard about EON reality tool, and some may have already seen the tool, some in this morning in here as well as in past demonstrations we have done. But for those of you who have not heard, a very brief introduction about EON. EON reality has been working in the area of AR, VR applied to education for 25 years globally. Started with much bigger and more popular and richer universities like Carnegie Mellon's and MIT, etc. And then now it has been used worldwide, all over the world, from schools to college to university. And some of the things it has been doing is riding with the wave of AI. And with that AI and with that immersive learning, now EON reality is considered the global leader. Now, in very simple terms, we all learn better when we do some things. We are into 3D, we touch it, we touch meaning we open it, we see something, and that way of learning is known to have a better learning outcomes. And while, yes, there has been some improvement from books to online learning, but it has not created that major transformation it has been an incremental change. But with immersive learning, the learner definitely has a lot more knowledge, understanding, retention, and is more capable of performing the task or appreciate the lessons much better. Now, we can talk all about it, why, what, etc. But in simple terms, XR or AR, VR, we always know as they already have been proven. Now, what has fundamentally changed? And this should be a very interesting for all of us as we have watched the AI and particularly generative AI in last 3 years. What was an issue? Was the two issues so far with learning done using XR. One was the cost of the equipment. You needed very specialized equipment, expensive equipment, very large, sometimes the room size caves. But now with the smart glasses, with Oculus type of devices, but even more excitement is this device with 7.2 billion people virtually, everybody in the world has this phone. So the cost of doing AR, VR learning on a mobile phone has become a tiny, and particularly in India, where the cost of data, thanks to telecom companies and Indian policies like Jio, the price of data is very inexpensive, affordable by everyone, 1.4 billion people. So that's one change which has happened over last many years. And the second change, biggest change which AI has brought is, yes, device cost is low, but it would still take 3-4 years ago, 6 weeks, 8 weeks to create one lesson. And you have to do a lot of programming. Maybe some people or companies which did that in a very specialized case. But now that 8 weeks to create a lesson has been reduced to 80 seconds, maybe 90 seconds. And in this session today, my colleague will take you through how to create that lessons in 80 seconds. So, I mean, that almost reminded me of that movie, Around the World in $8 type, So 80 seconds, you can do that. So the 2 points to remember that XR as a student now is affordable to everybody, and creating lesson by a teacher or by content creator or even by governing bodies like NCERT, but right down to the teacher who has to teach the content in the class, create his or her content the way he or she visualizes, knowing his audience, and he can customize it as he or she feels. So if I was to simply say, what exactly is EON tool? I would say it's a teacher's tool and a student tool. Now, why would I say teacher's tool? Because teacher, in addition to a book given to you by NCERT or anybody else, a teacher still applies his techniques. He may use examples. He may write pictures on the board. He may use his body language to explain. He may show some physical objects. And he kind of does audio, video, all kinds of things which he brings together in the classroom. And this is exactly when I say EON is a teacher's tool. As a teacher, you can combine and change the sequence, what you think you want to do in a class, maybe 20 minutes before you go to the class. So as that way, a teacher's heart's content can be created by teacher without writing any code, without writing any computer program. You can be arts teacher, science teacher, math teacher. You can use this tool to structure your class. So that's one. Now you might say, how is it then also students too? So in this virtual and augmented reality world, when you send those, when the teachers have given the tool to the students, created the class, the student on the other end can personalize it. He can say, okay, teach me some more. And AI avatar will come and teach him or her more. If he has some questions, he may ask those questions. If I'm slow in learning, then AI teacher or AI avatar, which works as a tutor, also then slows down and raises that student to the level. Meaning that every student with his or IQ or potential or whatever you may call it, now is thoroughly assisted so that his true potential or her true potential is realized. So particularly if I was to summarize that, yes, it's a teacher's tool, and my colleague will talk about various things that can be done, and he has created some lessons. Again, those are simple examples. You as a teacher may take parts of it. You as a teacher may say, oh, I want to keep it simple, or you want to introduce more immersion or less immersion, maybe some very simple lessons, so you can do all that. And the second part, which I mentioned, the student can do that, and student can learn, ask questions, etc., as well as then he can engage and do some hands-on activities if it is related to hands-on. In addition to hands-on type of classes, the tool can also be used to teach students how to build your confidence, how to manage your stress, all those soft skills which are sometimes causes disadvantage to many disadvantaged communities in the villages, etc. While they may still be very brilliant, but some of those soft skills stop them from getting into good education or even in good jobs. Using this tool, teacher can teach soft skills which students can learn. So all that during the next 2 days, Ali will take you through, so that those of you who are attending this class would be able to do all those activities. And so I think the introduction I just gave you, remember EON is a teacher's tool as well as it is student's tool. So you as a teacher can personalize it the way you want to teach, and then student can personalize it further to learn from additional tutor. So somebody may ask the question, can this tool be used by 250 million students in the country? And I think I can put hand on my heart, and that's the vision. Our vision is that this tool should reach, of course, not tool, the content you create from likes of NCERT and teachers with that. This tool is like a Christmas tree, empty, but you're going to dress it up, and that reaches to each student. And then in the hands of future, that very smart learning content can be personalized, like as if he has a 24/7, 7 days, 24 hours. That tool is available as a tutor. So that's the vision, and it would be done at a fraction cost, which you can think of, which is affordable to everybody. So keep that in mind, that when we are doing this, our vision is to take it forward, to roll it out in the country. So just since I didn't introduce myself, I'm Lalit Yagnik. I'm a chairman for India for EON Reality, and it's absolutely a delight to engage with you over next 2 days, and then build the content being led by the team who is physically here. So you will hear after attending this class, you will be creating content, working with NCERT team sitting in here. So that's a goal. I hope I've explained the end-to-end aspect of the proof of concept, the training. Then after this training, you'll create the content, and we will have a review again of all of you who are attending this in next few days to see how comfortable you are and what content you have been able to create, and then we can again guide you for that. So with that, let me thank you for your time. I hope your time investment will be of value, and I'd like you to welcome Ali, who has come all the way from Singapore to conduct this training, who has been doing training to teachers and students across, at least in Asia Pacific and Middle East. With that, Ali, please.
Thank you very much.
So that's the camera.
So hi, once again, good afternoon, everyone. And for those of you who are joining us virtually, right, good afternoon to you as well. My name is Ali, and I am from EON Reality Singapore. Right, being the customer success manager of EON Reality Singapore, I focus on trainings and implementation for our customers across the APAC region. So I travel a lot to India, Malaysia, Indonesia, and also to the Middle East region. So it's really a pleasure being here. Now, we had the opportunity to meet some of the team members earlier today. This experiences. Now, so let's data sets, but also with other institution organizations, how they have been also using the platform. Yeah. Okay. So, and then we will go into the experience creation. Okay. So, well, I think for some of us who are joining us online, if you are not speaking, so I would appreciate if you could just mute yourself. Thank you very much. Okay. So now this is our NCERT, right? EON XR Library Institution. Okay, for those of you who already have the access, you should be able to log into your account. But if you are not able to log in, not to worry, later towards the end of the session, you can let us know and we will be able to add you into the institution library. Okay, now, as you can see in our institution library here, there are a few lessons, a number of lessons which we have already created and added to the institution library. But these are just sample lessons which was done by me. And I'm not the subject matter expert of all these respective fields. Like, for example, the solar system, there is leadership challenges, and then there's also about photosynthesis, if I'm not wrong. Introduction to flower reproductive parts. All right. But as you can see, even without being the subject matter expert, I was able to generate all these lessons. But all right, it's very important for the respective subject matter experts, all right, to ensure that whatever content generated by the AI, it is relevant, all right, they are validated before it's being released to the student, right? So human intervention is regardless necessary when we consume AI in any form on any platform, right? So let's take a look at a couple of lessons. Now, one of it will be this lesson, which I'm going to pick, which is Introduction to Flower Reproductive Parts, all right? So we'll just have a quick walkthrough of a lesson from a student perspective. So this is already a created lesson, but now later, all right, we will go more in depth into the lesson creation part, all right? So for those of us who are here with me online as well, all right, so you can see how a lesson would look like from a student perspective.
I'll soon explain more about Introduction to Flower Reproductive Parts and guide you through an engaging and informative experience. Please hold on for a moment while everything is being prepared. It might take just a few seconds to set up.
So as you can see here, this is a lesson in the learning phase.
The flower reproductive parts. Flowers are the reproductive organs of angiosperms.
Right. So now this is how a lesson would basically look like from an end user perspective, right? So they'll be seeing a virtual environment, right? An avatar who is here, a spatial avatar would be narrating the lesson. And then there's also a 3D asset here of a flower and a bee. But later we will also be able to explore what is the purpose of the bee, what is the purpose of the flower, and etc. Right? So now there's engagement phase where you can directly have a conversation with your avatar, ask any questions, right? And you get real-time response from the AI, all right, depending on the context of the topic, all right, because this topic is related to a specific subject. So your questions have to be relevant as well.
This helps you connect with the lesson topic through suggested questions.
Next part, we have some assessments as well, all right. Right, so we have assessments like multiple choice quiz, we have Socratic assessment, and also Jeopardy assessment, all right? So this is different type of assessment. All these are AI generated. And then we have some skill simulation practice.
Welcome, lab assistant. Today's lesson is in Jeopardy. Our flower specimen's pollen has mysteriously vanished. Let's use our knowledge of flower anatomy and the tools around us to solve this puzzle together. Ready to begin our investigation?
Okay, so you can see there's a lot of animation here, all right? That probably shows, the process of how a bee takes from, from one flower to the other. So there's a lot of context here. And then lastly, you get an analysis report, right? So this is basically, right, completely AI generated. Okay, so now what we will be showing you later is how I used a single prompt or a data set to create these lessons, all right? So that is for the AI created lesson. But now, let's go back to my home page. Let me just I think I'm sharing the right screen. So
this is your overview chart and your score is final score. Click on Summary or Details Report for more information.
Okay, I'm just resharing my screen. Okay, now that was what we call a Metaverse Builder lesson. Why Metaverse Builder? Because within a single lesson, you get to see a few objects, right? Like you have the avatar and etc. But how about exploring a lesson without AI? Are we able to create lessons without the usage of AI? Yes, we can also do that. For example, here's a lesson about Toyota GTE engine. All right, it's a Toyota 2JZ GTE engine. So let's start experience. This lesson was created without any AI, all right? So it's a lesson specifically focusing on a 3D model of a car engine, right? So if you're a content creator where you want to create some lessons on engineering subject, then this will be another choice which will be showing you how I created my lesson, right, without using any AI. So this, whatever knowledge portals we see here, it's absolutely custom, it's manual. So the subject matter experts will have to build the lesson. But how about the model? Not to worry, in our platform, we provide 3D assets as well, right? So you can see this is one specific lesson that specifically focuses on the Toyota engine model. You can add the relevant annotations. Students will be able to view the model in exploded view, transparency view with animations, all right? So this model comes with some form of animations, which all will be experienced by the student. Now, this is just the 3D model exploration, but the real knowledge transfer begins here, right? There is a list of knowledge information which you can add to the lesson, all right? We call that the knowledge portal, where you can add text information, video files, assessment, quizzes. But as you can see, there is no virtual assistant in this version. So that was a very quick overview on the two major parts that we have on our platform. One is the AI part, where everything is mostly curated by the artificial intelligence. There's an avatar, there's a lesson structure within a single lesson, with also an immersive environment, as opposed to just the XR part, which is what we are looking at right now. Okay, this is a very manual lesson. The subject matter expert picks the model, import, and then start building a lesson out of it. Okay, so any questions before we continue? Okay, if there is no question, all right, and for those who are joining us virtually, if you have any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself, or you can even just drop a text in the chat box, and I will take a look at them when we have the time. Now, how was it possible? Yeah, yes, sir.
साइंस एजुकेशन इत्यादि में सही है, लेकिन लैंग्वेज एजुकेशन इसका प्रयोग कैसे करें? लैंग्वेज एजुकेशन में कैसे है?
If it's a language, are you a language teacher? So if you're a language teacher, how will you apply immersive in the language?
Understood. Yeah. So what we have shown you now is a quick glance over hard skills lesson, but we have also something called soft skills. All right, soft skills where you can practice role play scenarios. All right. So now, before we even continue, what I want to show you is you can also change the language of the entire platform user settings. So on your profile icon, okay, you have profile settings and then language, right? Now, this is just to change the language of the platform, all right, the UI of the platform, okay? So, although you might be wondering whether how is this answering your question, but yes, we have soft skills which will help with language studies, right? Whether is it English, Hindi, or whatnot, all right? So we will also, I hope we can show that today, otherwise we will go into that tomorrow. So here you can choose Hindi, Gujarati, or Tamil, the three main Indian languages that we have on our platform. Okay, so now create option, right? Like I said, every institution will have a create option, so you don't have to be necessarily a subject matter expert to create your lessons. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into create course catalog, right? So in this course catalog option, okay, so once I select create course catalog, I have two major options here. right? One is AI ready, and the other is train AI. Okay. Now, AI ready is in which I can directly input a prompt. All right. What type of lesson we are planning to create? So let's just say I put okay, I put a prompt like this: EV two-wheeler. All right. It's a very simple prompt. EV two-wheeler. I can enhance the description. So this is basically
Repeat the
Oh.
process.
How to go to that?
Oh, okay, sure. Now in your home library, right, you have the create option. Okay, so once you select create, you see course catalog, the middle option here. Okay, and then under the AI ready, you can directly input your prompt here. What lesson you would like to create? Okay. Okay. Here's the thing. Now, because we are first timers, if you come across an option to link your Sketchfab account, all right, please select link. All right, do not ignore that message. Right, so you will receive a message to link your Sketchfab account. So if you come across that, and just sign up as a free user in Sketchfab. All right, it's important. Why? Because every lesson our AI will be adding a 3D asset which it will pick from Sketchfab library. So we have an official integration, right? A premium partnership with them, but it just requires your authorization. Okay. Well, you can still continue without linking your Sketchfab account. Maybe for today you can skip it, no problem. But the next time you create your lesson, it will still prompt you to link it. Okay. Now you can put any type of prompts. All right. So you see, my prompt is very simple here. I just put EV two-wheeler, right? But if you want to put something else, so this is an electric vehicle two-wheeler. Okay. And then I use this option to enhance my description. Once you type in your prompt, all right, you can enhance your description. Now, basically, all right, for your description is basically your learning objective. All right, or what's your desired learning outcome. So this is where you need to input. Now, AI would always, all right, suggest for you, all right, but out of its own imagination, it will give you your desired outcome. But you as a subject matter experts will have to do the necessary refinement, all right, on whatever that the AI has suggested. Now, okay, now once you're selected under the skill type, okay, you'll see two options: hard skills or soft skills. All right. So for now, we will continue with hard skills, all right, and later we will come back to soft skills later, if not tomorrow. Okay. So hard skills and your experienced language. So earlier on, there was a question on whether can the experience be in a different language. So you can see this is where you can choose whether do you want your language, your lesson language to be in Gujarati, Hindi, or I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily always in Indian languages. If you want it to be in non-Indian languages, we have some options here. Then everything else will be in the same language. So, earlier on you were asking about language studies. You can put in your prompt here. Maybe you want to put English literature or maybe Sanskrit literature, right? Put in the prompt. Let the AI to figure out how to create the lesson. You know, one wise man always told me in Singapore, you know, he was a principal. He told me, always let the machine to do the heavy lifting, right? So we don't have to crack our head. Like, how can the platform hard skills teach literature or language studies? Just put it into the prompt and we will observe the results later. Okay. And then you have two options. You can either select create, it will create one lesson for us, or you can select this option, create 5 experiences with increasing difficulty. Now, if you were to do that, if you select create 5 experiences with increasing difficulty and you select create, then what would happen is that the AI will first suggest 5 different lessons. For my case, it will be in the topic of EV two-wheeler. There we go. All right. So from introduction to EV two-wheelers, understanding electric motors, battery technology, all the way to safety features. So you can see you get 5 different lesson suggestions. All right. And you have the title, you have the description. At this stage, you can make any adjustments to the prompt as you wish. All right. And for my case, I'm not going to make any adjustments. All right. I'm fine with what the AI suggested. When you're ready, just select continue and you can start creating the lesson. Okay, and you can select status lock. Okay, you can select status lock to monitor the progress of the lesson creation. And in my experience, right, it takes less than 3 to 5 minutes to create 5 different lessons. So earlier on, Mr. Lalit, he mentioned how we have now leveraged our platform to a point you use 80 seconds to create one lesson. I'm now creating 5 lessons, so 80 times 5. It's like yes, sir.
In queue means it takes the time in queue for 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No, you're asking for qubits. Quantum computer.
Okay.
It is 5 steps ahead of you. If qubit before you hit enter, it would have done. The theory of relativity applied.
Because you see, now in this lesson that which we are creating, right, it's not just like ChatGPT, you put a question, you get an answer, no. But it gets a complete lesson. So the application is now working with different technology tools to build the lesson for us. Yeah. So while the cookies are being baked in the oven, now what I'm going to do is just give me 20 seconds. Yeah, I'll come to you all. What I want to do now is just quickly show you a recap on what I did, right? So you can count whether did it take me 50 or 80 seconds. Create course catalog, right? Go to AI ready, type your prompt here. Once you type your prompt, if you have your own learning objective, type it here. If you don't have, then for example, you say hello. Okay, no, just keep it more precise. Engine, right? Use the description enhancer. Now it will enhance the description for you. Now, based on your preference, adjust accordingly. Select your skill set. For now, we will experiment hard skills first. So stick to hard skills. Choose your language. Whether single lesson or 5 experiences, select create. I think that's less than 30 seconds, right? Because subject matter experts, you know what you want to create. And then when you're done, it will take you to your status log where you'll be able to monitor the progress of the lesson creation. Okay. So any questions from anyone? Yeah. Yes.
You may repeat the question because others may not.
Okay, yeah. So one very good question we got was in terms of the difficulty level, right? How do I refine the difficulty level? So when it comes to using AI, it all goes back to the prompt, right? So add as much information as you want in the prompt because that would help to narrow down the results to your preference. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. So you have to be more precise, right? The more information you feed, you see, when AI started to revolutionize, the course that became very popular was prompt engineering, right? Everyone had to go and take prompt engineering course so that they understand exactly how to use the AI. Okay, so while we are speaking, all right, and as our friend here is also doing some adjustment to the video, if you notice, you can see 3 lessons are status completed. Right? So 3 lessons, you can see everything done for you in real time, right? Okay. Now I can either directly select, this is just a bit of administration part, all right? I can select go to experience here. It will take me directly to the lesson. Or what you should do is at the top left-hand corner, you have your My Workspace, a personalized library or collection where you will be able to track and locate all the lessons which you have created. Okay, so you see, I have 3 lessons which are ready here. Battery technology in EVs, understanding electric motors, introduction to EV 2-wheelers, right? And the other 2 lessons will soon be here as well. Yes, madam. This was created by me. Did you also create something on EV?
I have created.
Oh, okay. You're already 7 steps ahead than me there. You're already into the lesson. Fantastic. All right. So now,
sir, excuse me. I have just on this Sketchfab account not found. What to do for this Sketchfab account not found? So we have to skip this for the moment.
no, all right. It's not really important because without linking your Sketchfab account, you still can create the lessons. All right. But later or tomorrow, I will go slightly deeper into linking your Sketchfab account. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for the question. Yeah. it would also benefit the rest in terms of the response which I just shared. So you can safely ignore the Sketchfab integration. Okay, so we have 3 lessons here, right? But don't worry, your lessons which you have created, they will not be automatically published into the main library. You will have to choose whether do you want to publish your lessons into the library. Okay. Now, I have created 3 lessons so far. Let's go into one of the lesson here. Okay, I'm going to pick this lesson. I will show you a quick walkthrough of the lessons which I just created 2 minutes ago. Okay, so you can see this lesson was created 2 minutes ago. So let's start experience.
Ali Muralidwa. This is an experience about introduction to EV2 wheels. I'll soon explain more about electric scooter and guide you through an engaging and informative experience. Please hold on for a moment while everything is being prepared. It might take just a few seconds to set up.
Okay, so you can see, all right, these people I started off with just EV two-wheeler. That was my single prompt. I enhanced the description, and then now I have a full lesson, and this is just 1 out of the 5 lessons. This is just the introduction lesson, right? I have a 360 environment. Okay, I have a 3D model of this is a Ola, right? Ola is an Indian. It's a very popular ride-hailing company here. There's a motor vehicle here, and all the information I need to know about EV two-wheeler vehicles, right? So I have all this information, and then we have the other parts, the rest of the part, which is the engagement phase, assessments on it, but we can skip that part. But I just wanted to first show you how to create a lesson, all right, using AI ready. Okay, so the recap is that I went into creator mode. Okay, I selected course catalog, right? And once I select course catalog, we have AI ready option where I can directly put a single prompt here, and I enhance my description and I created a lesson. Okay, so the question was whether can I customize your avatars? Yes, you can. Profile icon, and then you see profile settings. Click on profile settings here. Okay, so we have the option here for you called 3D avatars, where you'll be able to customize your avatar. So you can do this sometime next week when you're free, right? Just click on the blank profile icon for you to customize your avatars.
A quick question, Oli. Would you envisage those AI avatars be the teacher himself or herself in future when that feature becomes available?
Yes, absolutely. So we have one of our feature that is up in our pipeline where you'll be able to clone yourself, right? So your students will be seeing you, right, as the virtual avatar.
Recording
right? So
in progress.
A quick version of you. Thank you so much. I think you read my mind. I was wanted to Ali, would that be possible that the teacher teaches a class of 30 or whatever, then they go home later on and they are learning more in the engagement phase, then their own same teacher who taught now is available and answering his or her questions. Effectively, teacher has gone home, but she has or he has gone with every student home.
Yes, exactly. So
that would be a use case. Yeah.
Yeah, so that will be an interesting feature that we all will be seeing soon on our platform, whereby your students, all right, after they are done, completing their in-class activity, right, after the physical interaction with their teachers, when they are back at their own comfort zone, they will still be able to interact with you, right, the cloned version of your good self in an avatar from in lessons. So that will be an upcoming feature that you will be expecting to see in our platform soon. Okay, so this is AI ready. Now, there's another option called train AI. I think this will be very, very essential or useful for you. All right. Now, in this trained AI, what we are going to do is to upload our existing data set, right? So I think in NCERT especially, you have a lot of e-textbooks, right? So what you can do, if you have it already in a PDF format, you can directly upload your document, attach a file, right? And you'll be able to, now let me see if I can pick any one lesson here, right? For example, this is a document that talks about observing that air expands on heating. Okay, so this is like it's just a 2 pages document, but it doesn't matter if yours is multiple pages, is perfectly fine. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to upload this document right into this train AI option. So earlier on, I went into AI ready. I directly input a prompt on two-wheeler, right? But now I don't have to type anything. Under the train AI option, all you got to do is just upload a document, and there we go. Right after I've uploaded the document, the AI has now given me a course playlist called Natural Phenomena with 5 lesson title. All right. One that talks about observe the air expands on heating, followed by effect of heat on balloons, deformation of bottles in cold, right? And the respective description. Now, where the AI pull all these lesson title and suggestions from the document which I have just uploaded. So for every data set which we upload, the AI will scan through and identify 5 lessons. Okay?
Is there any limit of this one?
Limit of the document?
Yeah, document size.
36 MB. Where's Aryan? My tech expert colleague is not here. It's 36 MB for now. Yeah.
Any format.
In PDF format. Yeah, in PDF format. So it's almost impossible, right, to have a PDF file that is more than 36 MB. But in most cases, I've actually tested other NCERT documents, which is more than, of course, 2 pages. I think there was some that 20 or 30 pages. It works perfectly fine.
Hey,
Sure, go ahead, sir.
actually, we create a video. How shall we save it?
Share to the student.
Yeah, whether the student should have this tool to open it, or shall we share it by any video like?
How student
We can access it. That's what.
Videos.
Yeah.
Embed them into the lessons.
No.
Now this.
I think this question is the lesson, the actual lesson. How can they experience it? How can they experience it?
No, the students can access this anytime, you know. So
They should have the license.
but they should be as an added user into
Access.
NCERT.
They should have access to
Share
that.
it to it my student, then how
Can you download?
How to send by email.
Okay.
We create it in our one format.
So
Then we can share it out, just like we are YouTube video. Is it possible?
like a video, is it?
Yeah.
Like a screen recording?
Yeah.
Well, you can a screen recording of the whole lesson. That's what you meant.
I think you might be referring to the lesson, not video. This is an interactive, immersive lesson. So when he creates the lesson, he's right now in a test mode. So you're a teacher, you are testing it, how it did it. Then you will circulate it to 30, 40 students in an email, and they each one will get a link, and they can click the link on their mobile phone, for example.
What is this EON
EON app.
EON app.
Yeah.
They can have access to the
Right.
Yeah, that it is, but the license, you have to have, the device should have an EON license on it because it will use that platform to create this experience.
Is the visible for student really accessible? Is it really accessible?
Yeah, it is accessible because they will all be given distributed EON license. And so that would be, so this would be like if NCERT or Ministry of Education has it, then they can give it out to roll it out to all of them. Or a school. So for example, whole school, we have a school in Dubai called James School, and it's real. They are using it, and the teachers create the content, and then they give it out to, let's say, class of grade 8. So all grade 8 will receive that lesson. Then maybe class 9, maybe class 10. So different lessons would be distributed to the relevant audience. And each one will be installing EON license that would be sitting on their school's library. They would install it. And even the course content would be sitting in a school central library, and that would be distributed to the students.
Listen, we are talking about random schools. If we are sitting in a remote area of Rajasthan, then is it accessible to there?
Yes, because it's all on cloud.
Okay.
So EON is a SaaS platform. So every course you create would be on cloud. So in India, it may be, let's say, AWS Cloud or Google Cloud. And there would be a big account of NCERT, and anybody who will have access to an EON license would have it. And that would be administered by some administrator, let's say in NCERT. And of course, you can divide it by school or a state you can do all kinds of divisions, because some may be purposed in Tamil, some may be purposed in Gujarati, some may be Hindi, some may be English. So you may create multiple administrators, but all that would be done in a very systematic way. So, because it is on cloud, it is accessible to anybody. Even a student who's traveling in Malaysia tomorrow, he will have an account and he would be able to access that.
Okay. And then my next question is, what is the validity of this content that is developed, the authenticity of the content that is developed?
Validity, okay.
Whether is it true? Because always the ChatGPT, the AI.
So there the role of the SMEs are like you, subject matter expert and the teachers. Yeah, you have to.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yes. So that's the problem, and now here's the solution, right? So the problem statement here is whether the validity, the validation, and whether is it authenticated by SMEs. Now the solution would be how we can now actually manually go in and just make some refinement of the lesson. You see, to build from scratch is the challenge, all right? It takes a lot of time, but now the AI has already created the base for us here. We have to just build upon it, or just make adjustments, remove, add information which will make it and which will contextualize, right, the lesson to meet our learning objective. Okay, so now to answer also with regards to the roles, right? So like for example, now for NCERT, if we are going to add 1,000 users, right? So you can see we have various roles here, right? The student's role, teacher roles. We also have admin, a super admin, student creator as well, right? So as much as there's teachers to create students to attend the lesson, we also can train students and empower them to become student creators, right? And different roles comes with definitely different set of permissions, right? Teachers will have most of the permissions because they have to create lessons and all, but student role users will only be able to consume the lessons, all right? So it's a user-based license, so they will still have to be added as a user into the institution account. And once a user like me, I have created the lesson, I can share with my learners in two forms. It's either, actually there are many forms, right? The main form is to share using the link, or I can directly share on my social media platforms if I want to, right? But that may not be necessary now. But here I can just copy the link, share it with my students, or alternatively, I can also generate a QR code, right? So like I mentioned earlier on, right? The application is available on your mobile app as well. So you can go to your Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and just install the EON XR application. And then students can just easily go into their app, scan the QR code, they will be able to access these lessons, all right? Don't have to be worried about the number of lessons that you can create. It's unlimited, right? In terms of local storage, also don't to be worried, because we use AWS, cloud, so they are our CSP, they handle all of our content. So even if, let's say, right, so our application is license based, it's based on certain subscription period. What happens once we come to an end of the subscription? Whatever NCERT has created, it will be stored eternally in our cloud service provider. So maybe 2 years later, if NCERT comes back on board and say, hey, I want back my library, reinstate, you will be able to retrieve all the content that has been created before. All right. So all this will be safely archived in our library, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, to also answer one more question, all right, in terms of example, now I'm at Rajasthan in a rural city, right, where maybe the access to internet and all may not be available, right? So, we have two different type of product. One is the XR, one is the AI. So the advantage of the XR lessons is that you can download the lessons and access them when you're offline, right? So that way, users will not necessarily require constant data connection, right? So when they're at campus, they can download the lessons, and then when they are back home, right, where they may have limited access to mobile data, right, or maybe to know the mobile data connection at all, then they will be able to access the lessons offline, which I'm going to show you very quickly, right, how you can download your lessons offline. And what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to screen mirror my mobile application. Basically, it's an iPad, but it's the same, right? I can either share my Samsung screen or iPad, but I prefer my iPad, so it's easy, it's more convenient for me to hold it. But let me just connect to the Wi-Fi. And okay, so meanwhile, we also have some questions from those who are with us online. So let me just take a look at the questions.
I have one question. Once we have created this content and it is complete, can we modify? Can we change it or can we delete it?
Yes.
The thing is, without your modification or validation, this is of no use.
Oh, yeah.
You have to modify.
Because I wanted to
Yeah.
make some changes, but it is not possible for me.
Just one second. Just check it together. You can see the screen now. The screen is still visible.
I think we have a P breakout. We have a P breakout.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we have some online questions, right? So I'll just quickly address them. Number one is the app is just search for EON XR or even Google Play Store. All right. So you can see now, right now, I'm sharing my iPad. All right. So just search for EON XR, and you search, you will be able to see the mobile application and you can install it. Once you install, just log in with your email and your password. Okay, now I think we have two questions here, one online and one in person also, who asked, like, once I've created my lessons, right? So I went to create, I selected course catalog, and then I used either AI ready, I put a custom prompt or train AI, whichever, right? I created my lesson, and then I went to status log. I was able to monitor the lessons, the status of the completion status. Now, once I've created my lesson, where can I locate them? All right. Top left, select my workspace. And then once you've selected my workspace, you will be able to find the list of lessons here, right? So you can see I earlier on created 5 different lessons that talks about electric motors, all right? So understanding introduction, these safety features and etc. Now, for example, one of the lesson here is regenerative braking systems. Okay, if you select start experience, it's very straightforward because it's going to be in student mode. But we will focus more on edit experience, which is later. All right. So one question is, I think most of our question here today is, how can I adjust the content by the AI? Can I validate them? Can I replace, add my own stuff? I think you all have done a lot of videos yourselves, right? There's a lot of videos for lessons. So I will show you how you can inject all these, knowledge portals from your own local drive into these lessons. So within a single lesson, students get to experience all kind of resources. Okay, now coming back to my mobile application. All right. So this is my iPad here. I have EON XR, so you can see I'm going to sign in. Yes. All right. Until you have to wait for the lesson. Okay. Someone asked a question, all right, in the Zoom chat that I'm not able to see my lessons in the workspace. Right, that is probably because your lessons are still being processed, right? So keep a lookout at status log. Once the status say completed, you will find them under your workspace experiences. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, you're most welcome, Sangeeta. And yes, absolutely. All right. So another question is, once I create my lesson, can I keep what I want and delete what I don't require anymore? And what I choose to keep for within my library, can I edit them? Yes, you can. All right. So now you can see in my workspace here, I have many lessons which I've created in the past few days, right? But what if I want to delete any of them? You see, there's a little tick option. So just click, and then you can select delete.
Yeah, I want to delete some part of the video, as not as a whole video.
You mean in the knowledge portals?
No, I have a video.
You want to edit it?
In which I have to edit the video. Is it possible?
Edit the
Edit
Oh, edit the lecture. Yes. So that we will have to go into individual experience. All right, and we will go into edit mode. So we will be very shortly. We will just take a quick tea break. We will come back and we will, I think, go straight away into edit experience. So that way you can see how you can edit the content which is inside the lesson. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now, very quickly, let me just show you the mobile application version. So earlier on, I mentioned, right, that you can indeed. It's showing my screen. Okay. Just quickly reshare. Okay. Now, there are two different type of lessons, right? One with AI and one is non-AI, which is also formally known as XR lessons. One example is this lesson that we teach that talks about hanger and engine. All right. So I'm going to start this lesson now, but this time round I'm going to use augmented reality and bring this lesson to my real space environment. Okay, so once I do that, you'll be able to see the flexibility of the platform. That's number one, because all this while we have been seeing a lot on desktop mode, but now you will see on mobile application. Okay, so this is in augmented reality, as you can see, right? And there's a message for me which says, place towards a level surface and move around gently. So all I got to do is just place my lesson here, right? So once I place my lesson, I can push this into 1:1 scale, right? There is a 1:1 scale option. So once I select the 1:1 scale, I'll go inside this hanger and engine, and I'll be able to look at the 3D model right in front of me. Okay, I can move closer. I can explore this lesson. Okay, so there are a lot of information here, but I can perform some simulation, for example. If you want to dissect how a specific engine like this, right, you can take a look at the annotations. There are some knowledge portals here. For example, what's a low compressor, what's a compressor fan, what's a, right, all these videos and information for me to explore. Okay, and I can also view it in touch mode, right? So without using augmented reality, that is also possible, right? So this is one lesson.
And you can make it into a smaller and put it here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now, all right?
I'm going to do that here.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I will show you one more example, which is let's take another lesson. Maybe this laser cutting machine, right? So laser cutting machine is a very huge machine, right? But what I will do is I will just place it on top our table right here.
Share with all.
Yeah. So another good thing about this is that these lessons, all right, can be downloaded offline. But yeah, the one of the condition is that the lesson must only be stored in your mobile application, all right? So offline lessons can be viewed on your mobile app. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this lesson right in front of me. So you can see this is a huge laser cutting machine. But in 1:1 scale, this is how big a laser cutting machine will probably look like right in front of me. Okay, so this is a laser cutting machine. You can see all the annotations here. Okay, the annotations. I can also explode the model, right? Explode this model. And like I mentioned, you can also perform some simulation. Like I can pick this, for example, control panel. I can pass it to my colleague here.
If it is hard, you can put all.
This is a window, right? So for example, learners, right? This is things which you cannot do when a laser cutting machine has started operation. Like for example, right? I want to see how the laser motion functions inside the machine. I can now go in. So you can see the laser cutting has started, right? But of course, in the actual environment, you won't be able to see this animation, right? Right? Otherwise, I wouldn't make it back out alive. I'll be long margaya already, you know, if I were to go in when the laser cutting machine is happening in real time, right? So this is augmented reality. So we have also spatial meeting, like I mentioned, so I will be able to put my students here as avatars. We can learn collaboratively, all right? But there's also touch mode. I mean, I don't have to necessarily be always in augmented reality. I can also be in touch mode, right, to consume this lesson. Bottom right, right, so I have all the information.
This is the main power switch for the laser cutter and
So you can put all these knowledge portals.
This is the user interface panel.
So you can add some quizzes if you want to.
In the animation, you can see how the laser cutter performs the cut. As you can see,
right, so we call these the hamburger menu with all the knowledge portal, right? So this hamburger menu knowledge portal were all added by the subject matter expert. All right, so of course, I don't have much information about this. Now, one last thing I want to show here is this. You see this option called download, right? So once you select download, okay, so this will take maybe about 1 or 2 minutes. It's just like Netflix or Prime. You download when you have internet. When you go offline, you'll be able to still watch the movies which you have downloaded while you. It's the same method, all right? But what happens if your Netflix or Prime subscription comes to an end? Will you still be able to access your offline movies? No, you can't. It's the same, all right? Same logic. Okay. Now, I wish I can switch off my Wi-Fi to show you, but if I switch off, it will automatically lose the screen mirroring. But while you are still, all right, connected to the internet, there is something called. Wait 1 second. The hamburger menu here, top left, you will see this option called offline experiences, right? So in these offline experiences, you can see I have downloaded this lesson, right? So I can anytime. So what this will be the look of the platform when you turn it on during offline mode. When there is no internet, you click on EON XR, automatically it will take you to this offline experiences mode, all right, where you'll be able to.
How then? 81 MB. For how many minutes it is?
For this lesson, it's 280 MB.
80 MB. How much length in time?
10
minutes?
Time, no, because you see, the lesson is not a video, you know, for you to have a duration. It doesn't come to a standard duration, you know.
No, whatever you say out here, no? What is the duration of that video?
Approximate how much time?
How much run time? Half an hour? 30 minutes?
Well, 30 minutes, I think that would be the average.
Also will depend upon the objects inside, you know.
Yeah.
So
depending on the activity.
Size depends on the 3D model as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
But because it is looking so big now, 281 MB.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because that is the size of the model, and then there's a lot of materials, content in the knowledge portals. Yeah, so that makes it maybe a bit of a heavy lesson.
Explanation about each part of the laser cutting machine.
Yeah.
So I think
okay.
Break for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so let's take about a 10 minutes break. All right, now it's 3:50.
Before you take a break, because some people, since my friend there is getting all the time using the word video. Sorry, can you point him to?
Gentlemen.
Yeah, gentlemen. So every time you say, can you share this video? Can you share that video? You know what I think you're still thinking in the mode of YouTube style. But other good point.
Or way is sharing videos.
So I'll give you a similar language. It is more like a 3D video except that video goes from left to right. Also, all YouTube goes from left to right. But here's a 3D video which you can enter middle first and a left first later, and you can go in and out. That's how you have to visualize. If you were to look at it as a 3D movie, but instead of watching that 3D movie like Lion King from left to right, you enter from in the middle, then you go. So based on the teacher, what he wants to teach first. Some people, some biology teacher here may want to teach first the body, then he may come to heart. Somebody may say, let me start from the heart and then bring others. So that's what allows you now. In fact, I go little silly. I call it, in past we used to have a Gurukul system. You learn by doing it. I think this platform with XR, with AI allows us to go into that Gurukul system because you are designing it based on the weather today and the student learner and allow him to do things. So, because you have an object, you first show him, hold him in his hand, then you teach about it. I mean, sometimes old system Gurukul allow you to do that. First you immerse into go lakdi kaat ke aao, go to the wood. But then it allows you to add more knowledge portals. And that's what every time he uses the word knowledge portals, basically you added snippets of knowledge onto the main topic you want to teach. So I think good that because sometimes it's a transformation because what we have been used to books and then online and a video of the YouTube, this one is a big change. It's a major transformation. So it's not just the tool, but our thinking of how something to be taught. That also teaches. But good thing is that we dream in 3D. Yes, we do, we or not. But last 200-300 of learning methods was in papers and books, etc. This allows us to dream and teach in a dreamful fashion.
Meet at 405.
Yeah, so it's 3:55 now. Let's come back at 4:05. Yeah, just a quick break. Maybe you can just give a thumbs up. I see Hilal and Umarani here that are not audible. Am I audible now? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us online. Okay, so I have a few questions. I'll just take about 3 minutes to quickly address some very important questions. These are useful for those who are here with me as well. All right. Number one is some resources. All right. Can I get some resources to access the platform? All right. Yes, very simple. On the browser, on the EON XR browser, at the top right-hand corner of the screen, you see this help kit icon, this question mark, right? Click on this question mark here, and you will see resources. Okay. Once you select resources, it will take you to an external browser. You will have all the online ebooks here. For example, getting started, some application examples, use cases. We have everything for you here in one click. So for example, you go to getting started, right? Whether you're a desktop user or you are a mobile or desktop user, you can find all the information here, desktop, mobile, and etc. Right? So this is something you can always explore on your own time. Very simple, right? Once again, just go to EON XR library. At the top right, you select the question mark, click on resources, okay, and you will be taken to the external website. Okay, this part we are clear. Now, another question we had from one of the participants was that will we get this a copy of the recording? I leave that to the organizers to answer that. All right. For the online participants, they are requesting a recorded version of the meeting. So please help to coordinate that with the participants. Thank you. Okay. And then the last question is what time will we end? All right. So we are now at 4:10. We'll just take about 20 minutes more to show you one more feature, which is our soft skills role play. So we have a lot of interest in that, right? On how to create language related subjects or topics. Okay. So that is something I'll be showing you very shortly. And then lastly, yeah, that's about it. Okay. So let me take a quick look at the question chat again. Okay. And do I need to install any application? Yes. All right. For desktop users, click on your profile icon. Okay. And then go to downloads. Once you've selected downloads, all right, click either if you're a MacBook user, click MacBook, Windows user, click Windows, and you can install the application. All right. So that way you'll be able to run the lesson. Okay. Now, let me just put my full screen. Okay, great. Now, next part is what we are going to show you is the soft skills lesson, right? So soft skills lesson is something that you have to create a scenario. It's a learn, train, assess model. But for a change, we are going to do this in Hindi. All right. So of course I can't do it. I can only sing Hindi songs, but I can't speak Hindi. But my colleague Aryan, all right, will be with me. And we will also get some help from maybe some of the subject matter experts with the topic and what you want to see in this role play scenario. Now, bottom right hand corner, because I'm using my mobile device now, right? So bottom right hand plus icon. Okay, I'm going into Metaverse Builder. Can I explore this on desktop? Yes, you can. If you're using your desktop library, select create. All right. Just let me go to NCERT institution. Right. So you can see I have many institutions that I work closely with. Right. Create. Once you select create, you go to Metaverse Builder here. This is for desktop. But for now, I'm going to use mobile application because I'm going to bring my avatars into our classroom today, into our lab here. Right. So I go to Metaverse Builder. Now, once I select Metaverse Builder, right, you will see soft skills here. Okay, I have soft skills option, but what I'm going to do.
Would you like to create with guided assistance? Explore the physical world.
But now what I'm going to do, at the top right, I'm going to switch from English to Hindi. So there's also Gujarati, there's Hindi, there is Tamil, all right? But now we will go into Hindi and I will select OK. So this can be explored in other languages and the entire user interface and user experience will be automatically converted to Hindi language. I'm selecting this option here. All right, this option, which is the soft skills. Now I'm going to bring my avatar into my real space environment.
गैर परावर्तक सतह का पता लगाएं और अपने AI
Okay. There are many topics here: business skills, human resources, public speaking. All right. So if you want to become a future minister, you can take public speaking. Right. If you want to be a counselor, you can take psychology skills. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a custom topic. You can also put a custom topic here. Okay. So once you select custom topic, any topic you want to explore this.
Any one of you can suggest.
Language studies or what? Any topic, customer service, hospitality.
Emergency room.
Oh, emergency role playing.
We have
Okay. Okay, so we already have that as one of the topic here. Okay, but how about this? Let's take something which is related to language studies. It can be a custom topic because you see, I can now select custom.
Language.
Sandhi is not a soft skills, it's a hard skill. It's a grammar topic, right? वो grammar का part है ना हिंदी का.
Anything about language?
अच्छा संधि.
Sandhi.
I thought संधि between Israel and Iran.
Now,
संधि कराओ. Which is also not good.
Conversational topics थे, so soft skills जो public speaking, role play और ये सब हो गया.
Decision making.
Emergency issue is mentioned.
Okay, like topic can be like effective communication. Yeah, topics like that. But we do it in Hindi, you know. Okay. So, but later in the scenario, we can put like training my Hindi response, my response in Hindi for effective communication skills or what. You can customize the scenario. So, like I said, when you use AI, it all goes back to your prompt. How you are going to design your lesson based on the learning outcome. Okay, so we'll put a custom prompt. You know what to say in Hindi? The topic.
What topic are we choosing?
Okay, just say effective communication.
Effective communication. कौन बताएगा मुझे effective communication को हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं?
प्रभावी वार्तालाप. प्रभावी वार्तालाप.
प्रभावी वार्तालाप. संवाद.
All right. Okay. 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 So now.
उनको ले लीजिए ना.
Okay. So now we have chosen one topic, yeah, which is effective communication in Hindi. Right. So the AI will first ask me to choose a reference image. We also call that a hero image that is related to the lesson.
custom. Last
You can either have that image or you can also upload your own image.
Okay, let me just check my Wi-Fi. Is it connected? Okay.
People are connected.
Yeah, maybe it's number of paths are connected to the same Wi-Fi. So meanwhile, I'll also try to test out on my desktop itself. No, but, yeah.
Makes sense.
कृपया एक सप नमस्ते अली मुरलीधरन डॉट क्या आप निर्देशित सहायता से रचना करना चाहेंगे? एआई सहायता से भौतिक दुनिया का पता लगाना चाहेंगे? रोल प्ले के माध्यम
साहित्य का
समाज.
साहित्य का समाज पे प्रभाव.
Okay, so now we have mentioned one topic, right? So we have to pick a hero image. I'm so sure why it's taking. I'm not so sure why it's taking longer than usual, but
Let's do it in English first. Communicate in Hindi.
oh, okay.
It's okay.
Okay, so first the AI, right? I was too fast and quick and picked a random image, but it doesn't matter. But now this is a learn, train, assess, because first thing the AI is first going to teach me about the specific topic, which is effective communication, right? Okay, so the upper
समाज
output.
पर प्रभाव डालता है। यह संवेदनशीलता को बढ़ावा देता है, जिससे लोग दूसरों की भावनाओं को समझते हैं। जागरूकता फैलाकर समाज के मुद्दों पर ध्यान आकर्षित करता है। संवाद के माध्यम से विचारों का आदान।
In the interest of time, I will pause the avatar talking. What the avatar is doing now, teaching me about effective communication. If you heard the first few words, I think you would have already understood, right? It's actually teaching me about the topic. But now this is where I'm going to continue, all right? So it gets more interesting here. You choose the avatars, all right, for your lesson. You choose what's your role and what's the opponent role, because we want to train our soft skills, right? Not on hard skills. And I can choose the avatar's character, right? The skill set. Okay, so it's just loading. And, sorry about the poor network connection. I think we have a bit of a challenge with the speed now. Okay. Taking too long, but
इसमें जैसे हमने टॉपिक डाला, हाँ जी, और इसने अपनी दृष्टि से बना दिया पार्ट, उसमें हमें लग रहा है कि ये कुछ करेक्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं, तो उसको अभी यहाँ पे एडिट का ऑप्शन है जो आपका है। अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम कैरेक्टर से बात करेंगे, हम कुछ बोलेंगे, वो कुछ बोलेंगे, और एंड में वो हमें बताएंगे कि हमने क्या सही बोला, क्या ठीक कर सकते हैं। तो हम कैरेक्टर को एक पर्सनालिटी दे सकते हैं कि ये कैरेक्टर ऐसा स्वभाव का है, ये करता है, तो सब कुछ उसको डिफाइन कर सकते हैं, फिर उनसे बात कर सकते हैं, और उसके बाद एंड में वो हमें एक रिपोर्ट बना के देंगे कि हमने क्या सही बोला, किस चीज में हम और बेटर कर सकते हैं, और ये सब।
Or even show simple interviewing skills, because they must be interviewing a lot of juniors.
yeah, I think, or because we are probably having a bit of a bandwidth issue, right? So what I will do is, let me show you one lesson which we have already pre-created before, a soft skills lesson, right? To just give you an idea on how these soft skills work, and then later, of course, when you're at home or when you have a better connection, then you can test it out on your own. So let me just pick one lesson which I've created before. Okay, so I have many lessons, but
Hi Ali Moralitaran. Would you like to create with guided assistance? Explore the physical world with AI assistance, hone your soft skills through role plays, or create experiences from core. Please locate a flat, non-reflective surface and tap to position your AI assistant.
yeah, I think hopefully this works. Otherwise, my backup is to always quickly show a video. So I have a lot of video references which I can always show it to you as well. Because most important is the steps how to get there. So right, so you go to Metaverse Builder, pick soft skills, your language settings if you need to, right? Put your topic.
ऐसा नेट नहीं, वाईफाई चलाता है, तभी हमें भी प्रॉब्लम हो रही है। एक से सारा जाता है। अभी क्या आएगा ऑफिस? नेट तो चल रहा है, जरूर यही टीम बैठे हैं।
Yeah, we will also have just a small announcement at 4:30. Our founder chairman, and he's a real visionary who founded this company, he will join on Google. So he will address us. So I would suggest that we don't miss that. Because a lot of things what we have been talking about, he's continuously innovating with those. Yeah.
Connection now.
Welcome.
Negotiating high-stake business deals involves critical skills and elements. Preparation.
Okay, so it's working better now. Thank you so much for for a better internet connection. The guys have helped me. Okay, I have 7 minutes, all right, to be challenged to show you. So just fasten your seatbelt because we're going to go a bit fast. Now, a scenario that I'm going to choose is company 6 merger with a competitor. So this soft skills is about negotiating high-stake business deals, all right? Maybe our students who are on the sales line, this will be good for them. Okay, now I'll go next. I choose what's my role, right? Whether my role, am I the tech CEO or am I the investor advocate, all right? So I can choose my role here. And then I can choose my opponent to be the investor. I can also add more roles if I want to. Let my opponent be Joe's, all right? I can choose his skills and his characteristics, all right? What about skills, all right? It's a stakeholder balancing, market analysis, characteristics. You can put a prompt, how you want your opponent, all right, in terms of his character. You confirm, okay? And here is your overview. So your role is a tech CEO and you'll be role playing the following avatar, who is Joe's, all right? Jos is an investor advocate. So takes me into a meeting room, Jos will appear in front of me. This will be the rightful manner if I would done it in Hindi, but unfortunately earlier on I was in a different internet connection. Okay, so very shortly, Jos will start talking to me, all right? And I will have to provide a response to Jos accordingly. So let's just wait for his response. Okay, so like I said, this is a learn, train, assess. It starts off with the learning phase where you first learn about the topic and then you go into the training part.
Hello, Ali. As we gear up for this merger negotiation, what specific goals do you have in mind for our approach?
Okay, so you see, right? Imagine I'm now the CEO and then I have to provide my response. Hi, Jos. Pleasure meeting you. Well, yeah, I have a lot to discuss, but how about this? Right before we get started, let's talk a bit more about our personal life. So how have you been and how's life with your new girlfriend? Okay, I'm intentionally doing a terrible job so that later you can see how the AI will correct me at areas I went wrong, all right? This is not how I talk to my clients, don't get me wrong, but you will see, all right? Later, the conversation, this is still fine. This is still the role play.
Personal matters separate from business. Let's focus on the negotiation.
Nah, you're such a serious man, Jos. This makes me wonder whether should I really do business with you. But well, so tell me, what do you have in mind now? In 4 minutes, my chairman will be meeting me. If he knows this is how I speak to customers, he will terminate me immediately.
Oh, by the way, this is real, Ali. And so far, it's been a serious item.
I understand your concerns, but I'm committed to maximizing value in this merger. Let's discuss the terms you envision.
Well, Jos, I think I'm starting to get a bit hungry, so let me go and have some tea and samosa and come back to you in 2 hours' time. Goodbye. Okay, so I intentionally did a terrible job. So now I'm going to submit my role play scenario. All right. So I submit. Okay, so you will see now I get a response from Jos. Jos is not going to assess me. He's just a dummy character.
Enjoy your snack, Ali. I'll be here when you're ready to resume.
Okay, so I'm going to, right, just select this flag and submit my role play scenario, all right, this conversation to my AI. Now, this is where, right, this is back to reality. I'll be getting my assessment, overview score of how I performed, but it was a very short role play, right? But in actual role plays in school, we go on for at least 3 to 5 minutes, and then our teacher assess us. So let's see, I scored only 34%. That's not too bad.
Your score is 34%. Click on summary or deep.
Let's go to summary.
Here's a summary of your role-play activity. The tech CEO failed to maintain professionalism and focus during the negotiation, making inappropriate personal inquiries and abruptly leaving for a snack. Instead, he should have
And a detailed report, right? So that was just a summary, but detailed report, you see how specific the AI is based on a very short conversation.
In the conversation, the tech CEO made several notable errors in his approach to the negotiation with the investor advocate. Firstly, the tech CEO attempted to initiate a personal conversation about the investor advocate's life, which was met with a clear preference from the investor advocate to keep personal matters separate from business. This was a misstep, as it indicated a lack of understanding of professional boundaries and the seriousness of the negotiation context.
All right, so this is going to go on and on because you see it's a very long, because now the AI is not here to only highlight your errors. But what the AI does, it is also able to tell you what you should have said instead. Right? So this is how it helps us with soft skills improvement. So I've got 2 more minutes. I'll give you a quick recap on how I got there. Right? So go to EON. Right? Once you go to create, you have the Metaverse Builder option. Right? So under the Metaverse Builder option, okay, you will have the soft skills option right there. So once you click on the soft skills option, you can choose whether do you want to keep it in English or Hindi. All right, that we leave it to you. The soft skills, place your avatar, choose the topic.
Non-reflective surface and tap.
So once you have selected the specific topic, for example, public speaking, right? Then the avatar will ask you to pick a reference image that is relevant to the specific topic. Okay, and then it goes on for the rest of the part, right? Okay, so any questions so far?
Like 5 years ago.
Okay. Someone many so can you just check again in down? Okay, so very shortly, all right, my colleagues from various part of the world, all right, from Singapore, US, and one of our colleague also from Poland and Portugal will be joining soon. You'll be meeting some of our team from my team members from the global EON Reality department. So just give us a couple of minutes, and they'll be connecting with us very shortly. Thank you.
So while you do that for tomorrow, what time we'll be starting? 11 o'clock start tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you will be going through the full detail.
Around 1:30 and 2:32.
So for those who are with us online as well, so tomorrow we will start at 11 a.m., right? So today you have gotten a lot of information to digest, all right? Firstly, how experiences look like on both computers and also your mobile devices. You have seen how they also look like in both touch mode and augmented reality, right? How we were able to bring these experiences into our real space environment. We have also had a taste of soft skills. Now, tomorrow we will go slightly deeper into modifying these experiences, because I think some of the major concern we had from the subject matter experts were that how can I make changes to this AI generated content? I would like to input my own details. I would like to replace or add or remove. So we will go, all right, slightly more deeper into the editing part of the platform, all right? So we will meet again tomorrow at 11 a.m. for that. So now, without further ado, all right, I have our Managing Director for EON Realty Singapore, Mr. Sridhar, here with us. So I will hand over to him. Thank you so much, Sridhar. All yours.
Thanks, Ali. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hear me? Okay, perfect. Along with me, I have my colleagues, Marcin, who has joined us from our office in Poland, Europe, and also Jan Shellstrom, who is based out of Portugal in Europe. So first, I'll take the lead to introduce myself, and it's an honor and a great privilege to be with you all. Along with our team there on site, both Jan and Marcin are very much instrumental in hearing the customer voices and also taking the message as how to improve our offering for this sort of a large deployment. We are looking at this as like a global effort for us to support our partnership with NCERT. With that, I would like to give the lead to Marcin first, followed by Jan to introduce themselves. A few minutes for you, Marcin, followed by Jan.
Of course. Hi, guys. Hello, everyone. Pleasure to meet you virtually for a moment, but I'm also hoping to meet you face to face and do the same kind of impression as Ali is, I'm sure, doing right now with you on this personal level. Ali, I was able to hear you in advance, so don't worry. You didn't fail. You done actually excellent job. Okay, my background is mechanical engineering, and I'm with the company for more than a decade and a half, probably. And I'm supporting customers around the region in finding a pedagogical and a technical aspects of most beneficial use of the platform. From a customer success department that we have structured around the world, we support partners from a first steps of a kickoff of implementation towards the end of the project. So all of the aspects related to the learn, to the training, to the preparing and adjustments, and also supporting customers in their journey, and working in between the technical teams that Jan is leading, and he will be introducing that, and the clients, understanding the client's needs, adjusting it from a pedagogical and a technical point of view. So that will be one of my roles here within the project to work with you along that. Thank you.
Thanks, Martin, for your introduction. Over to Jan to take the lead and introduce yourself, Jan.
Okay, so my name is Jan Källström. I'm originally from Sweden. I'm also a mechanical engineer. Now I'm in Portugal. I lived in US, in California for 23 years and just moved to Portugal 2 years ago. I'm leading the global development team, so I have teams in US, in California, with Sweden and Singapore. So this time zone wise, this is much better. And like Marcin, we try to listen to the customers as much as we can, especially when we have larger customers. We try to work with them and develop new exciting things. And I'll show you a little bit more about that later. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. I was also expecting my chairman, Dan Legisker, to join in. In fact, he has just traveled back to US, so he's a bit delayed. While we wait for him to join us, let's continue with the rest of the updates. Marcin, I'll pass the lead back to you onto your side.
Sure. So what I would like to do very briefly introduce you to something which we call the 9-step implementation. And Ali, if it's all right, I know the meeting is being recorded, but if I can request to be able to share my screen for a little bit, just to put some visuals to this.
Yeah, sure. Should be able to.
Yeah, I'm able to do it right now. So I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know when you will see my screen.
We are seeing your screen now. Fantastic.
All right. So as mentioned before, within the partnership, and this isn't just the deal; it's a partnership that we form with the organizations around the world. EON Reality created a process called the 9-step implementation process, in which we have proven that it is the best way to integrate the technologies, interactive, immersive learning, training, with the support of artificial intelligence. So all of those things that Ali is demonstrating to you within this training, and also tomorrow within the second part of the training, how effectively make it work within the organization. So very briefly into that, this 9-step implementation program concentrate on, of course, making sure that, like a proof of concept that we just starting right now, has a motivation in regards to the understanding of planning, the need, the right kind of resources, people on both sides, from the EON's reality side, from the partner side, as well. And we are going to understand what is the expected, what is possible, and learning together as a journey on those best possible scenarios, and also how to, that's where Jan comes in, improve the processes, the product itself, towards fulfilling your needs, your training materials, your training audiences. So we're setting up the teams, we understanding and building up the better understanding of the goals, timelines, and needs from the partner's perspective and from the possibilities from the platform's perspective. We, of course, very proud of the partnership. That's why we involve also our marketing, the global marketing campaigns, as well as local marketing campaigns, to making sure that we are, as both parties, proud of what's going on and how we're promoting it externally. We provide the partners with the licenses, and that's one of the elements of the process. You have right now received an access already to the platform, and I'm looking at Ali on the other side screen, so you can give me a thumbs up if that's correct, that the people who would be working on with this tool and will be using the tool, get an access, institutional access, as well as individual access to the platform. And based on that, we are providing various types of the training. Some of the trainings are happening online. Some of the training, like right now with Ali, happens on site, and there are various training engagements that happens to making sure that the partner understands, feel, and is fully ready to be sustainable in the use of the technology. So that's why we train on the EON XR lead administrative training, how to administer the platform, how to deploy, how to integrate with learning management systems like Moodle, Canvas, or other, to making sure that you can easily and effectively utilize within your existing infrastructure this solution. We have a certified types training like the EON XR Educator course, EON XR Smart Worker workshops also, as well as EON AI Educator, concentrating purely on the use of the latest and the most advanced functionalities of integrating AI and the XR. And all of those trainings within the next steps of working is towards making sure we create a content that suits you, that we provide you ability that you can create your own content, that we support you as a company with some experience also in making sure that the technology is the best use. In the same time, when we do this learn, train, perform, and collaborate also within regards the EON XR, we engage you as a partner and all of the partners around the world with all kind of workshops, training sessions that are happening globally to integrate and build up the networking among the multiple partners in Europe, Africa, United States, or Asia, in all parts of Asia and Pacific region as well, and combine those within the user workshop, very practical and a pedagogical approach towards that. So all of this is part of the journey that we are just starting right now. And my role, Ali's role, as well as other people around the world, is to making sure that we communicate and we going through this path together, eventually to the success of renewals, continuous support, and developing new elements in the platform, developing new features and functionalities that can help you in your journey. And I think from my point of view, that will be pretty much all, but I'm also wants to mention one thing. The platform that Ali is demonstrating to you is already existing as a cloud solution. And the great thing within this platform is that the users, either they are working individually or administratively, also the administrators, the lead administrator, whichever organization that is, and I will switch, for instance, to the publicly available library here. We can instantly get necessary information either throughout the already integrated AI agents that can help us, and there is a support through this, as well as throughout the online documentations that are available to everybody. So this is just the beginning, what Ali is showing, but just to emphasize, and probably you already mentioned that, Ali, but I just maybe using this time want to highlight that there is also ability to utilize existing training materials, not forgetting that however people, how to Google already providing you with their reports and materials with their hundreds of, and if not thousands of, lots of micro-learning videos about the tool. So from a point of view, this technology is no longer hard to learn. It's easy, it's accessible, it's also localized from a point of view of a structure and organization that you have, and self-service from a point of view of the administrators that we also teach from a point of view of who, what, how, and when, to making sure you can protect your intellectual property. On the other hand, you can also share it and collaborate it with your teachers, students, content creators, and eventually also the customers that you serve in the region. So that will be a little bit of from my side, and I'm handing over to you, Sridhar. Back to you, Sridhar.
Thank you, Marcin. To keep the flow going, I know you all have a hard stop at 5 p.m. I will take the lead to pass it on to our VP of Product Development, EON Shellstrom, and we'll complete that before I come back for the wrap-up slides here. EON, over to you.
Okay. All right. I will share my screen here. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so I will go through a little bit what we have done and then what we are working on and what's coming later. So here is what was released like a month ago. I'm sure that Ali have showed some of this stuff. So here is multi-avatar soft skills. So he was about to show it, but I'll just show a little bit and explain what's happening here. So with this new version, so here you can set up, you can have multiple avatar, and now you can set up for each person, you can set up like choose avatar, of course, and then each of them have their skills and characteristic, and you can change them and edit them and anything. So if you want to train on a specific soft skill session, you want to have one that's like really empathic and another like a completely different personality just to get the challenge. And here they have the 3 different ones. So now you can't hear anything here, but I'll explain. So I start with you know, ask my questions, and then so here is one like a tech innovator, and here's like they all have different skills. So when I ask a question, whoever knows it. So if I talk to, I'm going to have a knee surgery, and I have the doctor, I have the nurse, and something else. It's like, oh, who's going to do the surgery? And then the doctor says, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then I can explain more about it. So we can have this, and also they can discuss between each other. So one avatar can ask the other what if I ask the doctor, it's like, hey doctor, could I get another appointment, something, and then yeah, let's talk to the nurse, and then he will turn to her and ask questions. And then in the end here, so you can follow the discussion here, and in the end you will also have this the summary here of how the things went. Okay, so that's a little bit about the multi-avatar soft skills. Spatial IQ. So I don't know how much is shown, but I can show a little bit. So this is just a very simple example. Choose avatar. So now I just took my bike and I add position the avatar. And then I put in a persistent tracking, so they will actually lock into that. So if I come, assuming that maybe the bike is not a good example, but if you have a machine or something that is actually you know, in the same position, and then after you're done adding that persistent tracker, then you just go around and first you say what topic. Okay, it's going to be bicycle repair. Now you go around and scan it. So if you had this machinery, which is probably more of what you're looking at, and you scan it, and you ask the topic about it, and then you can create like a training application for it, because the key is to find this. So using AI to identify the annotations, that is actually put them on top of the objects. So I think you have seen this before by from Ali, but now it's getting better and better with this. So we have some new update coming very soon also. Okay. All right. So now so here is, so I'm going to play it and I'm going to talk at the same time. So this is it's called a FinFan for the refinery. So everything here is created on the fly. The model is not created, AI created, but it's taken from a library and automatically created. Okay, so now we're going to do a training for a FinFan isolation and shutdown, which is extremely important to do the right thing, because if you don't do it, people have died if they don't do this, shut this down in the correct order. So I took this video and then I cut it down a little bit. But the first thing, okay, so here's the procedure. listening what you're going to do. First, you're going to get the work order. Now you're going to talk to the control room. Now you get okay. The work order is to close down the first inlet valve. So of course, this is extremely important to do this in the right order. If you do this in the wrong order, turn off the valve that you come to a little bit later point. So okay, so next step here is to put the lock on it, so that after it's closed, then you can't do anything. Okay, next work order, and then you control this, and then you come to the next one, and here you're gonna. This is a inlet valve, so you can see the meter up here, and when you close it, this goes down. Okay, now that procedure is done. You put the lock on. So this is inlet valve, this is nitrogen, and this is outlet. This is like first this one, and then the one it at the top there. So okay, so now he's explaining about this, what you've seen before, basically what you did right and what you did wrong. Okay, all right. I know we have little time, so I'll move quickly. So here is something that you haven't seen, because we're working on a new design on the app to make it much simpler to use. And you've probably tested the express mode on desktop, where you type in, you can talk, or here you will be able to talk. You will be able to talk to an avatar, explain what you want. And in fact, we plan to have so that you can have an option to turn on the memory. So you will have an avatar, and you will explain, maybe upload your CV and talk about what you want to learn. And now let's go to, let's say you want to, okay, let's go to the next page first. So here you can see the kind of the library, a little bit, looks a little bit better. And here also you can talk to an avatar. If you just want to create like a single lesson, you talk, I want to learn more about the solar system. But then what you come to here is new, which is pretty interesting, I think. Let's say I want to be an astronaut. You don't become an astronaut if you create one lesson. So AI will help you based on your skills and knowledge. If you just went through high school, of course, then you need to go to, or even less than that, you want to start with the basics. But if you have another type of experience, then it will create this learning path. So this learning path is like the first things like physics, and you have a few lessons, of course, will be created automatically. And here is like the whole learning path. So it's like when you come here, you can get the certificate, because maybe astronaut is like not the best, because it's you can't really train to be that online. But this is just an example. Here's the marketplace. Sorry, my workspace marketplace, and here you will have like a summary of what you have learned. And this, you have seen this a little bit in the summary of your kind of result of your lesson when you create it. But here is basically what you have. So the completion, because you want to complete 100% of physics, 100% of this and this. Of course, you want to reach all the way out. And then the inner circle is the success rate. So it's like you can, the best would be if you completed it and you have 100%, but it's like these two should match as much as possible. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Any questions or?
Yeah, Ian, while we take the questions, I'll open up for Lalit to moderate this session so that he can take the question from the audience also, and also connect the dots. Lalit, if you can facilitate this session, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, sure, Rob. So I think let's use this opportunity. Today we started with overall the objective of the POC and end-to-end in terms of when we started this engagement a year ago at NCERT, to the meeting with the minister, right to the MOU signing, and today the training for you to be able to now create content as part of this POC, as well as some of you who are physically here to lead a little bit ahead of the others who joined this afternoon
online from around the country. So now think between today and tomorrow, we will enhance that capability so that you'll be able to create the content. Now, having Marcin and Jan join us, and they kind of Jan represent product development, so he leads the product development. So there are 1 or 2 suggestions that already came out. Ali will be passing some of those suggestions to them. But I'm pretty sure that during this POC, you might have some additional things which are relevant to NCERT, and I'm 100% sure you will have some which are very specific nuances related to Indian education and Indian students' maturity and the context and the culture. So I'm very sure. So it's good for us to, I mean, while we may not have any questions, at least until tomorrow, but
no, I think Lalit, there are some participants who are typing in the questions. We can address that. And also, I will encourage the other online participants to come in and they can type the question while we are answering. There is a question from one of the participants asking us, like, every student needs a device. Marcin, you want to take the lead?
Yeah. As I said, the platform is a cloud-based. That means the access the platform and availability of the platform are available from any place and any device. We use the approach which is called the agnostic approach, which allows various devices from a typical mobile phones, either Android or iOS based, to even the virtual reality headsets or desktop computers, laptops, either, no matter if it's a Mac or Windows. So from that perspective, to access the platform, any device with the access to the internet initial is enough to start explore, to start even create and build those. When it comes to of course, the immersiveness level, then different devices provide a different immersiveness aspect, how much you can be feeling. And let me just grab one thing here. And as I said, the platform is available and focus on the virtual augmented reality and combining it also with the support of AI. So in some cases, it's even possible to use all kind of VR devices. But the answer is you don't have to have a specialized device. It is any people's device. We estimate, and the study is saying that the 98% of the users around the world already have smart devices. And we always ask a question, how smart is your smartphone? Without correct software, without correct methodology, without the correct encouragement, students will not use them in a smart way. And that's what is one of the reasons of EON XR.
Yeah, Marcin, I would facilitate to take a few more questions together so that then we will be on time with respect to the timeline what has been addressed. If you don't mind, there are 2 more questions. One is like, is there content already available? And the second question is, how do we address this in rural institutions where there may be a limitation of the internet and others? If we can combine these 2, one, content already available, and second, in the rural institution, then we can go for the others. Yeah, just
absolutely.
keep it short, and then we can
very quickly. Yes, there is a content available. There is a library, public library, which is based on the 25 plus years of experience of EON. But the power of the platform is in the easy, quick creation with the support of AI to create up-to-date content. So that was also part of this proof of concept. But the content and the last assets and elements are available. Now to the rural technology. And we have experienced working in rural areas also in South Africa, Zimbabwe, and other regions around the world when the access to the internet isn't given for, and the speed of the internet, you even experience that. There are possibilities to use some of the experiences offline. So there is a possibility that part of the experience, not everything, because if you're streaming the video that is embedded into that, then not, but the content, the asset, and some of the assessment and activities could be even played with it offline. So there are some of the functionalities that allowing you to use offline, which is perfect for the rural elements you can download before and play anytime at your personal device or at your computer.
Thank you, Marcin. I'll go further and I'll shoot this question also to you because Ali can answer that while he's there on ground. But these are like some specifics coming from the audience there. Dr. Baiju asks, like, how about the scope of curating the available content from the to the specific needs of the K-12 there? That's sort of my understanding.
Yeah. So the good thing is, of course, we have already an ability to use a semi or fully automated process of creating of the content. But it is right now, and I think it is important that the content created by AI never becomes available, publicly published and shared without an approval of a moderator, of the content creator. So it is still a human aspect, which is very important from both the pedagogical and methodological as well as meritorical and know-how on the expertise to vet and test. So the AI helps you create quickly, contextualize the content very effectively, but it's still the human touch that allows you to decide what, when, and to whom you're planning to deploy. So that is a possible, absolutely, yes.
Got it. There are one or two more questions, but I'll just keep it quick there.
We have Dan, so maybe we can use the time also just to get the Dan to introduce.
Oh, Dan has joined us. Okay.
Yes, good morning.
Hello, Dan.
Sorry for being late. I apologize. We landed very late. I'm in California. I landed from Costa Rica 4 hours ago, so it's 4:30 in the morning, but I couldn't miss this opportunity to meet you guys.
Thank you, Dan. While we are facilitating this session, your presence is very timely. We have about 50 participants online and a lot of participants in the house itself, in the hall. And we have done the product demonstration, the 9-step implementation plan. And I did not intentionally go with the NCERT rollout plan slides because I wanted to save the best for the last. And if you can take that and guide us through, because there are some questions relevant to that, and I was holding that back.
Thank you so much. Hope everyone is fine. And I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen there, Dan.
So I do share your excitement about this project, and I want to give you a little bit of backdrop to what you just experienced. So my name is Stanley Juskar. I'm chairman with EON. I've been with the company for 26 years since its inception. And to keep it simple, what this project is about is to make knowledge available, accessible, and affordable for NCERT's target group. We have, as a company, been during our time here, our vision is very simple. We believe knowledge is a human right, and we want to help students democratize immersive learning, career mobility, and income generation. We all know that there is a global skill crisis out there. And I've been to India more than 60 times, and India shared this challenge. At the same time, India has also a wonderful opportunity. As we enter in this artificial intelligence era, there is more than almost $16 trillion of wealth that is about to be generated. Unfortunately, this is not evenly distributed. Most of this today goes to the United States, China, and a few other stakeholders. And our goal with this project is to help distribute it to the youth. And India is #1 in the world when it comes to this youth. Now, how are we going to do that? You saw some of it today with the ability to what we call learn, train, and perform. And we have 3 different areas that we deploy this in. One is the skills area. You have witnessed that with EON XR. The other area is the jobs, because obviously the reason students acquire skills is eventually get the job. And then finally, income. The reason you get the job is that hopefully you want to make a good salary and make your mother proud. And all these 3 aspects are covered within the core engine that we will demonstrate during this POC. So when it comes to learn, train, perform, Ali has shared with you the ability to learn, to convert text to image. I'm sure that you've also witnessed some training ability, I think, Ali, the ability to use this technology for training. And I'm sure that you've done both some hard skills and some soft skills, correct?
That's right.
Excellent. Not sure if you have had a chance yet to cover the perform area. Perform area is that once you acquire the learn
to the
and
phase, perform.
train.
This is where you apply your learning and training in the real world.
you have the ability to experience that in real life. Have you done? I assume you haven't done it yet, Ali, correct? Sorry? Yeah, I take that for negative. But in short, the ability to not only show and tell someone, but also to guide and assist through a procedure, for example, a chemistry lab, if you have forgot things. And to be very specific, you can use this in a lab, like you're seeing in this video here. So the avatar will pop up in the physical room. It will identify things in that room. It will then guide you, assist you, and even show you and tell you what to do.
Laboratory tasks. The robotic arm provides precise movement guided by.
So this is very helpful for Learn, Train, Perform. And as you probably experience, we have different simulators such as procedure simulator, etc. We have also exploratory simulators. And now one exciting thing is that it's not only about creating, let's say, an easy to use experience, but it's also about how the consumption of that experience will happen in the end. And in that context, we are using something called Brainies. And normally we don't cover that the first day, so I assume you haven't had a chance to show it yet. But it's very simple. So what you're looking at is not a physical avatar, it's an AI avatar.
That transforms your course materials into dynamic, interactive experiences instantly.
Hello, I'm your smart reality mentor. What would you like to learn about today?
I'd like to learn about jet engines.
Great choice. Let's dive into the world of jet engines.
Please explain how all those components work together.
The high-pressure turbine extracts energy from these gases to drive the high-pressure compressor. This energy extraction.
So basically what's happening here is that instead of me typing in using AI Ready like you just did, I'm just talking simply with a Zoom-like avatar. And based on that conversation, things are happening in real life. This is a product that we have rolled out. It's called Brainy, and it's a way to make things easy. Shrida, I assume that I don't hear you very well. So
they're saying we have not done yet. We have not done yet. This we can go ahead.
So let me use 1 minute because I think this could be useful to spend as a part of this 5 minutes that I have. So, and then I'll wrap up quickly. So you can see my screen now. I'm going to use a clone of myself. So you can see here. Let me just write that. Absolutely. Okay. And I will need to provide my email. There you go. So I only speak about 7 languages, and not even that, not very well. My clone speaks approximately 175 languages and very well, including Hindi. So the reason, so I will allow him to speak now for 1 minute before we move on. So let's see. Let's start the conversation. And he's also connected with XR, so he can generate courses.
Hi, I'm Dan Lajerskar. How can I help?
Hi, Dan Lajerskar. You have 30 seconds. Tell me why K-12 in India would benefit from our solution, EON Reality. Oh, okay, turn on the mic. Hi, Dan. Tell me why EON India K-12 applications will benefit from EON Reality.
EON's K-12 applications in India are a game changer because they address the core challenges of education in the region. Imagine transforming static textbooks into interactive 3D lessons. Students can now visualize complex concepts, making learning not just easier, but unforgettable. And here's the beauty, it's mobile first, optimized for lower spec devices and variable bandwidth, which is crucial for India's diverse infrastructure. Plus, the platform supports localized content in languages like Hindi, Tamil, and Bengali, ensuring deeper engagement across the country. Add to that the safe, risk-free environment for skill building and experimentation, and you've got a solution that empowers millions of learners to thrive in a rapidly evolving world.
I couldn't say that better myself. Now, before we wrap up, now the way this is utilized is that you combine those two capabilities that you just seen. Let me just do that. Let's see. You see my entire screen now again, Sridhar?
Yes, Dan, we can.
Perfect, perfect. So here's an example how that is done. So you have first the avatar, in this case, and you talk with her, and then you ask her something.
Interested in becoming an air traffic controller. Can you create a lesson that is an introduction to air traffic control?
Our platform can help you with tailored learning paths in these areas, including runway and taxiway systems management. Planning and coordination, ensuring all stakeholders are informed.
So what you're seeing is the same lady that you talked on the video now jumped up in your room and can share that information. And as you also can see, the avatar is highly improved and much more realistic. Okay, so we will not cover too much the career compass, but this is the ability to go from skills to paycheck using what we call brainy technology. So this is something that you probably have seen to a certain extent. We also have a solution for entrepreneurs, how to instill in these young people the ability to vibe code, which is the capability to just talk with the application.
Let's have a look at some
and
examples
generate
of
not only
applications that we
3D environments, but also full application and businesses. So this is something we'll cover more in depth. And to wrap that all up, we are using the AI Academy. And this AI Academy enables you to essentially cover all the topics that I've talked about, whether it's your learning, the X library, the conversion, the career compass, the entrepreneur guide, etc. So this is what we call the third way. So to summarize, while today most academic institutions in India are using what we call brick and mortar, right? The ability to be in a physical environment where you have capital intensive labs, fixed assets, and curriculum development takes, here in California can take up to 8 months for one course. Or having conventionally online, which is low engagement, poor retention, limited skills, we offer the third way, this ability that you just witnessed, which is characterized by 4 things. One, the ability to convert courses in 80 to 100 seconds with AI, the ability to have a huge library of more than $50 billion virtual equipment from aerospace, biotech to chemistry, and the ability to have those brainies, mentors that amplify yourself 24/7. And on that note, what I think we will achieve here together with NCERT is I have one little slide that I cannot leave you with before we close, is that we will also be able to extend from just theory to practice, so job-ready skills. We expect that we will shorten curriculum development and provide instant immersion across India. We know that there are many, many teachers, and this type of academy will have no borders. We also will be able to address areas that have no internet. As you know, our platform works also offline. And we will be targeting to address over time maybe 22 different languages. Currently, we are working with Hindi, Tamil, I think Gujarati.
Gujarati, yeah, we are working on.
And another important thing is that a lot of exams today test memory, not mastery. So I think this will be easier to adopt a simulation and competency-based approach, which is NEP aligned, where results matter. And I think this ability, even in a village that's very remote, to have adaptive learning where class 3 students with help of brainies can help improve their literacy. And with respect to teachers, which is our main group, most of teachers today drown in tech. and the ability to provide them with something that doesn't require code, doesn't add a lot of load to their already very loaded work situation, will provide the necessary confidence to embrace this technology. So the innovation mandate is clear. You don't need a lot of infrastructure. And you can begin even with startups activity in this. Our ambitions over time, and this is not going to happen instantly, is to improve employability, like we've done, for example, in Malaysia, when we reached 97%, to help the content speed creation, and also to reach people offline, whether you are in a metro school or you are in a teacher training center. And on that note, thank you so much. I really appreciate this. Sorry for being late, and looking forward to engage with you. I'll be in India very soon this month, and I hope we can at least have tea together, some of you that are in New Delhi. All the best. Thank you.
Back to you, Ali. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you, Marcin. And thank you, Jan, for joining us from different parts of the world. So once again, thank you so much for your participation today. Tomorrow, we'll meet again at 11 a.m. All right, so have a good rest and see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.